Hello, good morning student. This is Sonia Kaushik and you are watching my YouTube channel KC Biozone. And in this video we are going to discuss about 12th term 2 CBSE exam and what type of questions are there in the question paper. We are going to analyze the question paper today. So it will be helpful for the students who are in class 12th that what type of question can be asked in CBSE exam, right? So as in the last session we have term 1 and term 2 system. So this is term 2. Term 1 was objective type questions and term 2 having subjective questions. So in this question paper there are total 13 questions and that are divided into 3 sections: section A, B and C. Section A having 6 questions carrying 2 marks each. Section B having 6 questions, 3 marks each. Section C having case-based study question, 5 marks each. There is no overall choice in the question paper. Internal choices are there, and wherever necessary diagram is important to do. So question 1 की बात करते हैं. Section A, what are interferons? So interferons क्या होते हैं? Interferons are the antiviral agents that helps to control the virus infection in new cells, and interferons are released by the virus infected cell and they are used in treatment of cancer if cancer is caused by oncoviruses, cancer causing viruses. So it is very important to control these viruses. Next question, the graph given below A and B represent the population of elephant in 2 different national parks. So here you can see the growth is increasing in the growth is increasing with time. So this is J-shaped growth curve and J-shaped growth curve, and this can be seen if resources are unlimited. And in this graph you can see the growth is declining with the time. So this is due to the lack of resources, you can say. Next question, as next we are coming, explain giving 2 reasons how immune response by vaccine is different from the antitoxin in human. See, vaccine is something that is act as foreign antigen in our body. In vaccine we can give the killed microorganism or their any structural component or DNA as well that activates the immunity in our body and that helps in formation of antibodies. So it is different from antitoxin because in humans when toxoid, inactive form of toxin is given, our body is going to make antibodies against that. So that is something that inactive toxin is given, or you can say antitoxin is given, that is antidote, you can say, that will inactivates the toxin. So in antitoxin there is no antibody formation occurs, but in vaccine antibodies will be prepared by the body. So next question, mention the common bacterium found in the anaerobic sludge during the sewage treatment. Main are the anaerobic microbes like methanogens are there that will produce methane gas as well. Okay, methanogens are also present in the rumen of cattle. So they are commercially useful if we are using them to make biogas or gobar gas with the help of biodegradable matter. Next, B part, name the effective biocontrol agents in several plant pathogens. So biocontrol agent we can use baculoviruses. अगर viruses की बात करें we can use baculoviruses, ठीक है, and we can use trichoderma as well if we talk about different biological agents. So in viruses, baculoviruses are specifically used. Different species belong to genus Trichoderma are useful to humans. I have told you that trichodermal species are very important to control the you can say pathogens that attack on the root part of the plant. So root pathogens can be controlled by using Trichoderma species of fungi, and it is used as biocontrol agent. Next, why are predators considered to be prudent in nature? Actually predators are very clever, they are very intelligent, we can say. They will not kill their prey, ठीक है. वो सारे प्रे को एक साथ ख़त्म नहीं कर देंगे. अगर सारे प्रे ख़त्म हो गए, सारे उनके शिकार ख़त्म हो गए, how will they survive? So they are very prudent, they will do it in a limit. Next, how are the advanced ex situ techniques help in conserving threatened species? See, ex situ techniques of conservation of living organism are the techniques that are used outside their habitat or natural environment, right? So Recent techniques includes cryopreservation, in which we can preserve the pollen grains or other living cells at minus 196 degree Celsius, minus 196 degree Celsius at liquid nitrogen. So cryopreservation, like pollen bank, it is a very good example of ex situ conservation. Moreover, we can take them animals to the zoological park or botanical garden, but these are the traditional way of but new way will be the cryopreservation. We can explain that. Okay. And examples will be cryopreservation, that like pollen bank, and we can also preserve stem cell of organisms in case of animals as well, and in case of plant we can say serve pollen grain, या seed bank are also there. So these are ex situ techniques that can be helpful. Okay. Wildlife safaris, and with the help of a storyboard or a flow chart only, explain the stages of how human insulin is produced by recombinant DNA technology. See, human insulin, Eli Lilly company was the first company who prepared the human insulin with the help of E. coli, in which the three chains, chain A, B and C, three chains are there. C is, so this is inactive insulin, that is proinsulin, in which C peptide is also present. This is extra peptide. In case of active insulin, only A and B polypeptide chains are linked together with the help of disulfide bond. So this will be a very good example that how that inactive insulin can be prepared, and this form of insulin is a boon for diabetic patients. Okay. Next, so you can make a diagram in this question. Next question, explain the roles of primary and secondary lymphoid organ that are responsible. See, our lymphatic systems is a system that include lymph, that is the middleman of our body, tissue fluid, or we can also call it as interstitial fluid. So it flows in lymphatic vessels, and moreover there are some lymphoid organs. Primary lymphoid organ include bone marrow and thymus gland. Bone marrow. Our B cells and T cells, B lymphocyte, T lymphocyte are having origin from bone marrow, but and one more primary gland, lymphoid organ, is thymus gland, and it is the first gland that is showing immune response in our body, and its size will decrease with age. Its size is maximum in that age of adulthood. This is the reason why children, little kids and old age people have their low immunity due to size of this thymus gland. If we talk about secondary lymphoid organ, so it will include spleen, that is also called graveyard of RBC or blood bank of our body, that may include lymph nodes. See, if they are present in pharynx region, they are called pharyngeal tonsils. If they are present in small intestine, they are called abdominal tonsils, that are also called Peyer's patches. So lymph nodes, and moreover malt and gall, mucus associated lymphoidal tissue, gut associated lymphoidal tissue. So all these are examples of secondary lymphoid organ, right? Chaliye. And lymph is rich in WBC, and RBC is not present in lymph. And lymph is a pale yellow color fluid, you all have studied in your NCERT as well. Next, B part, doctor generally advise not to undergo surgery of tonsils, because tonsils are regarded as pharyngeal tonsils that are in our neck region. These are regarded as lymph nodes that are sort of you can say barriers for pathogens that are present in our limbs. So if we remove the tonsils, somewhere our immunity is going to affect it. Next, question number 10, the graph is given below shows the species area relationship of a certain region. This is showing that in an area the number of species is increasing, but after a certain limit there will be a saturation point, right? So it is not, if we explore the area we will find more and more species. There will be a saturation level, there will be a limit, and no more new organism will be found in that area after that limit. Next, after a while a small area was taken for constructing a road which divided the region into two. Write the impact of this construction. Richness in the region. See, if there is an area and we have make a road in between, so species richness will be more in the edge region. Edge region or this junction having the species of both areas, like if we have divided into two, A and B, so दोनों एरिया की स्पीशीज यहाँ पे होगी, तो दिस इज कॉल्ड एज इफेक्ट. Next, how did Dr. David Tillman relate experimentally the stability of community and its species richness? David Tillman gave a very good hypothesis that is called river Poppert hypothesis, in which he compare our ecosystem with an airplane. See, if airplane is there and if the people are going to remove, the passengers are going to remove one by one all the parts of the airplane, so initially it will not affect, but if it major part of airplane is lost, then we cannot balance that airplane, right? Same is our ecosystem. We are you can say going to eliminate our species with the help of different human activities like deforestation, like overexploitation. So initially we may not see any large impact, but overall in the long term of time we will see the effect of loss of every species. So every species is important. That is very excellently shown by the Dr. David Tillman experiment, Rivet Poppert hypothesis. Next, question number 11. Bacillus thuringiensis play important role in integrated pest management, IPM. Explain how. See, Bacillus thuringiensis is a soil bacterium that is used to that having TI plasmid. Bacillus thuringiensis that is in agrobacterium, sorry. Bacillus thuringiensis is a soil bacterium that is used to produce Bt toxin. So if this cryogenes are there, which genes? Cryogene, like cryogene A, B, AC, cry1 A, B, cry1 A, C, cry2 A, B. These genes can be used to make our insect resistant plant, like Bt cotton was found by Bt cotton. So Bt cotton was the genetically modified cotton in which genes are used from Bacillus thuringiensis bacteria. Initially what happened in normal crops, the cotton ball can be eaten by cotton ball worm that will greatly affect the you can say yield of the cotton plant. But in genetically modified cotton, in which cryogenes are incorporated from Bacillus thuringiensis bacteria, now the Bt cotton is resistant to the cotton ball worm, so it increased the cotton yield as well. So this is a very important example of transgenic crop or transgenic plant. Next, only with the help of label diagram you have to show the formation of recombinant DNA with the help of endonuclease enzyme. See, if we have a cloning vector, right, we have to cut it with a specific restriction enzyme on a specific restriction site. Now it will cut open and we can incorporate our desired DNA or desired gene to which we want to multiply in a clone site. We can use selectable marker or antibiotic resistant gene to incorporate our gene that act as a you can say a recognized site, we can say. So this is first of all we have taken a vector, suppose it may be a plasmid from E. coli, and then we have cut it with a restriction enzyme, and then we have inserted our desired DNA and we have joined the fragment with the help of ligase enzyme. Again this recombinant DNA again will be incorporated into host cell, that is E. coli. दोबारा से इसको किस में डाल देंगे? E. coli के अंदर डाल देंगे. You know, as this plasmid multiply, our gene of interest will also multiply. This process is called gene cloning. So this is it. Next question number 13. There are two different farmlands. One where Bt cotton crop was cultivated and other where non-Bt. एक जगह जहाँ पे Bt cotton crop लगाई जाती है, दूसरी जगह जहाँ पर Bt cotton नहीं है. इंडिजिनस मतलब जो वहाँ की नेटिव स्पीशीज है वही लगाई जा रही है. फार्मर्स रिस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर दिस एक्सपेरिमेंट कल्टिवेशन and were free to use the farming practice of their choice, whatever practice they want to use. During the cultivation period, the data were collected with the respect of amount pesticide used, where water required for irrigation. At the harvesting time, the crop productivity based on the data collected, a bar graph is shown. So non-Bt and this is BT. This is BT cotton. BT cotton having highest crop productivity, less pesticide, but it requires more irrigation. So now what are the questions? Let's check. Write the interpretation with reason on the basis of 3 parameters plotted on each graph. So we can easily see with the help of this bar graph, crop productivity is no doubt more in BT recombinant crop, and pesticide use is also less, but the irrigation, the level of water required by the crops is more as compared to native or indigenous जो वहाँ की क्रॉप थी. नेक्स्ट, विच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग क्रॉप वुड यू लाइक टू कल्टिवेट इन आवर फार्म एंड वाई? आई वुड लाइक टू, या वी वुड लाइक टू ग्रो दिस BT average crop that is having more productivity and required less pesticide. Next, which one out of these crop would a farmer from Rajasthan like to cultivate? In Rajasthan there is water scarcity, पानी कम होता है, so they are going to use this non-BT average crop as the water scarcity is the main problem. Okay, crop productivity doesn't matter in that if water is not available. So according to water availability, I think they require less water for irrigation, so they will use this non-BT average crop. Next, one more question is given here. The gene of interest, alien gene, is introduced by a cloning vector into a host cell to bring about a desired phenotype expression in a host cell. The cloning vector ATI आपके पास PBR322 artificial plasmid given है. Cloning vector are used are plasmid and bacteriophages biologists in their lab for desired result. Engineered specialized cloning vectors. One such vector is PBR322. Study the diagram carefully and answer the following question. What do ECO R1 and BAM-H1 Hind3 represent? Beta, this ECO R1, BAM-H1, Hind3, these are the restriction site. So we can see these enzymes are specifically from the bacterium, like ECO R1 is from E. coli, Hind2 is from Haemophilus, BAM-H1 is from Bacillus. So all 3 restriction sites are there. We can use the restriction enzyme here to cut the DNA. Next is identify the gene you would select for the role of selectable marker in PBR322. Explain why. So we can use the selectable marker as antibiotic resistant gene. Like we can use ampicillin resistant gene or out of these two we can use any one. On the basis what type of antibiotic we have and how we can check that. So any of them we can use. Next is write the property or characteristic of a plasmid bacteriophage that makes efficient. See, ideal cloning vector that may be plasmid or any bacteriophage, there must be a size limit, origin of replication. So one is size limit. See, in case of plasmid it should be 8 to 10 kb of size limit, then origin of replication, ठीक है. So these are the reasons. So and multiple cloning sites where we can use different enzyme. तो ये सारी चीज़ें हैं. Biotechnologies always insert ORI in the genetic engineered cloning vector. Justify the statement. ORI gene is origin of replication. If origin of replication is there, so we can easily multiply our gene in a plasmid. But if it is not present, it's not possible to multiply the gene. So ORI site is very, very important. Next question, last. Will the experiment be successful if alien DNA is ligated at Hind3 restriction site? Give reason in support of your answer. So let me check the diagram. Hind3 restriction site. No, actually in Hind3 restriction site, sorry. Wait. In Hind3 restriction site, there is no selectable marker there, right? Ampicillin resistant gene, tetracycline resistant gene only have restriction enzyme site BAM-H1 and PST1, PV1. So Hind3 is not suitable for suitable restriction site. So this is all about the overall analysis of the term 2 question paper from CBSE board. So the students who are preparing annual system this year, but what type and what quality of questions will be there in exam, so this question paper is going to help them. Chaliye, goodbye everyone.